organizing a few things. I'll write down a few notes. I don't know. I'm able to walk short distances pretty good, without crutches. So want to be hitting the gym pretty soon. At least with my upper body. Even here, probably just start out really just doing crunches and everything. So I'm pretty good, you know. But I want to go up to triplets, see how my leg, how it's healing and everything. Um, and I have a few things in my head that I want to make sure I take care of. Get this one here. I'm gonna be trying to not have me on oxy, so um, that's fine. I feel it when I walk. So yeah, I mean, but I think this makes you just want to lay down, not do anything, so more productive. Uh, so yeah, it's clearing up a little bit, that also. But you could feel like it's manageable pain, but it's painful, I feel it right now. It's like, oh fuck, man. So I move and then I lay down, move and like so, so but I could walk fairly normally. Um, but definitely getting better. I want to see exactly a doctor's opinion how my leg is doing. Uh, my notes. What is it? Okay. Erase that and write down more things. I'm gonna whiteboard back over there. Cancel this out. Stuff that I know I gotta get to. Sometime sooner or later. I don't even have you. I'll probably just say a few things. What I was looking at, I was watching the news, seeing, what they're saying about Ukraine. President is like, yeah, they already received orders and everything to go in. I'm like, all right, I guess, all that's happening. It's crazy. We always think we're above a war and like these things in society cannot happen. That's all in the past. We're above that. We're too smart about that. But here it is. It's happening. And I think that's sort of what we have to do. I mean, don't think we're always above everything. We're just like everybody else at the end of the day. And I think that's the problem, man. It's just like we don't really, feel this inequality or this humanity towards each other. I think that's the cause of a lot of things. I mean, we keep saying communication and everything, but at the core of it, it really is because we get complacent that we actually achieved that. We already are that. We already have this morality or this quality about ourselves that is just like perfect, and we don't need to improve. And that's the exact opposite. We should always improve ourselves or whatever. And of course, me being human, I'm already aware of that. I mean, so you always got to tend to it. Anyways, um, like I'm looking at a few of these things that I'm a little bit concerned about. They're like, well, we're gonna rely on like the mud slowing them down and this. I was like, that's true, historically, yeah, but I mean, roads are there, and I think somehow, people are people, they're gonna outthink that. They're gonna be like, how do we get there quick? So I want to rely on the mud slowing them down. Like I want to say that. Like I literally want to say that too. You know what I mean? But it's just the more you think you rely on something, the rest you should rely on it. Like they're gonna move quick, and I'm talking about just like create this mass, try to just collapse it super quick. And so I was like thinking like that, like if they're able to move that quickly, like how can you confront that initially? And we keep going like, okay, we're going to give these shoulder fire missiles and everything to them. And it looks great, on cameras and everything. And it's great camera ops. But the mindset, the phrase I keep hearing, I don't know how much to read into it because you're reading into phrases and is that how they're thinking? Is that how we're thinking? I don't know, man. Is that a correct way to judge, what all the governments are doing? Just reading news and getting pieces of information here and taking little bits of information. What are you really discerning? Does it really mean anything? You don't know. You just don't. You have no idea. But from what I got from it is that we're giving these weapons that are enough to resist, but not enough to win. Are we just gonna keep this giving a little bit of something? Oh, this is enough. No, man, you got to get something that is going to make Putin stop in his tracks. The only thing that's going to make him stop down is knowing he's going to lose. I'm talking about knowing that it's going to stop right fucking then and there. And not only is his nose getting bloody, that we're going to push him back right to the fucking border. I'm talking about? It's the only thing that's going to stop him. And him knowing that, it'd be like, fuck this shit. There's no way I can win. I'm out. And we got to make him think that. And the only way to make him think that is to have the actual elements in place to have that happen. Because he gave us, the other way is to give him the demands or whatever. And he gives impossible demands. And they're like, fuck you. He's basically saying, fuck you. Saying, here's special ops, here's black ops, black flags. And, you don't do that to your friend. It's just like, I give you disinformation, I give you lies, nonstop about whatever, this, that, and the other. That's basically saying, fuck you, I hate you. Here's more disinformation. Here's more black flag option. Just, fuck you, dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't respect you. I'm not going to give you the truth. I'm not going to tell you what's up. I'm just constantly going to bullshit you, That's all he's doing or whatever. So he's, doing a provoking fight, It's just like, so he's not going to try to talk to you. He's just trying to juke you. And just try to, do whatever it is to make you just think for a second there's hope for, peace or whatever. So you just do a little bit of something and boom, he's coming right in. That's all he's doing. He's just basically saying, fuck you, dude. That's all he's doing. Giving us a big middle fucking finger about all this shit. You know what I'm talking about? That's what, the White House basically said. He's coming in. He already made plans. So I get that. You know what I'm saying? But what I don't get is that I don't know. I don't want, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what's happening. I don't even want to know. You know what I'm talking about? To tell you the truth, because, I don't want to get in, I'm not an I don't like doing all that kind of crazy intel backstabbing or whatever. I just like to be right here, make direct eye contact, like, hey, what's up, whatever, what I'm talking about. That's the type of person I am. And I think it's more healthy for me, whatever. You stop worrying about all this other bullshit. It's like whatever. So you just like disregard and be like, whatever. And so you sit down, talk to somebody, be like, all right, this is what we got to do. And you be firm and you be direct or whatever, as much as possible. You know what I'm talking about? You're only human. That's how you get most stuff done. Everything else is just nonsense. You know what I'm saying? It's just what you learn growing up, But anyways, long story short. So, what I'm hoping is that we give enough tools for them to win. And, and you don't want to push out, like, you want to advocate for peace or whatever, but it's the only way to really stop this guy. It's like we have over the horizon capabilities to take out armor, and we could stop, air attacks or whatever, So when he comes over, it'd be nice if he clustered up, but I'm pretty sure they're going to make it as hard as target as possible, whatever. But how can you take out armor quickly? It ain't going to be like shoulder fouled or whatever, I'm thinking like, I don't even know. This has to be multi-layered type of defenses, whatever. There's so many different now. I hope we give that to them. It's just like, I remember like, okay. I think, you could give like attack helicopters and everything else like this, but they're a little bit difficult to learn. But I was thinking like the quality of people that are pilots, they could learn quickly, and during World War II, they were throwing up whatever it is in defense of Germany, whatever. They give them a few hours of or whatever, I'm talking about this flight, of this specific air flight. They were already like kind of proficient. Some of them not even pilots at all, whatever, and just told up to attack, whatever. And that's the kind of stuff. That's what we're in right now. And you got to be like, okay, that A-10 or that helicopter is probably going to get destroyed, but it's going to do some damage for it. And that's the kind of thing we're at, I'm talking about. But how do you mitigate that? You do the damage and you pull back before it get overwhelmed or whatever. But that's the type of mentality you have to have, that they could learn quickly because they need to know. We don't have like 10, 20 fucking weeks in the rear learning this shit, or a year. That they don't have that. They have hours, I'm talking about. They have days. So you got to be like, okay, take this manual, fuck it. How do we do this shit real quick? This, and this, or whatever, learn on the fucking go, I'm talking about. And I think that's the state of what they need to do. So don't hesitate to give that technical, equipment to them. They will figure it out because they have the need to know to figure it out quickly, and they'll figure it out quickly and make it more efficient and concise with every fucking day, with every fucking hour. The next person comes along, this is what we need to know. The next person, okay, we can shorten down to this, and then they got it down, I'm talking about? So that's what you got to do, because as soon as it rolls off the fucking train tracks and flies in, and it got to go out like the 7-day war and shit like that, So I don't see a battle of the Kursk happening where tank on tank battles or whatever. No, I maybe, I don't know. I just see it's more prevalent. Yeah, exactly. So it's just like it's a proxy war. It's on between us and Russia. So, but they're gonna use Belarus or whatever. So everybody's like, it's 150 troops, 150,000 troops, maybe 200,000 times that. Yeah, but then that's all like trying to like we have bigger stuff and we're going to demand this of you, whatever. The only thing that's going to stop us and we stop Russia is the physical force that Ukrainians can stop them. I'm talking about. And now all of certain areas just outside of Ukraine is mobilizing. How much of Belarus is mobilizing? How much of Moldavia is mobilizing? They might take out that little part down at Ukraine and then they're going to flood over. So that 150, 200,000 might actually be 500,000. You don't know. I mean, the numbers seem to be getting larger and larger, what I'm talking about? But I don't know really how to discern that. No, that's not gonna happen. Because this is a chess game, and it's in certain parameters. I mean, it's not something we have to be concerned about. It's just that at a certain level, I could view it as very calmly and I would say succinctly. I would love to say that. I always ramble on, but with the degree of separation from everything, than a Ukrainian or whatever. Yeah, I mean, but that being said, I think the two things you need to rely on more than anything else, if you're a Ukrainian, is the will to fight, and that person, those people in that area knowing what to do and their ingenuity and what they have available to them, because you don't, it's going to be mixed lot. You don't know what they have to handle that area, but the will and to resist or whatever will carry the day, because that, let's say it's 500,000, how much is that active really infantry? Maybe a fifth of that, a quarter of that, I'm talking about? Let's say it's a quarter, it's about like 120,000 or 200,000 or whatever, but that's just like, and what separates them from being, reserve and um, supply and auxiliary, whatever, is that a quarter is going to be more engaged, more willing to fight, and that could be offset by a Ukrainian will to fight. I'm talking about, it's all this kind of like a mindset, because they're going to be there, be the aggressive force, and if Ukrainians take it in initiative, they could be, all right, we got these people, whatever. I don't know about that. I don't really try to think about nuclear weapons and all that other stuff. I just think it's a waste. It's look, all nuclear weapons is end civilization. It's like, I don't want to be civilized. You know what I'm talking about? We have uncivilized parts of the country. I mean, of the world, you know. We do have some uncivilized parts of the country, but that's a personal issue. Anyway, so I don't want to get into politics, whatever. But it's just like we grow democracy as much as possible. And this is just a furtherance of one person wanting to be king and gather more wealth, and that's the end of it. You know, it's like, here's my impossible demands. I am going to take whatever I want by force, and you can't do nothing about it. And the only thing going to stop them is knowing that it's not going to work. Not by any kind of bullshit words or whatever. We're going to sit down and say something magical, whatever. No, it's be like, look, you come over and we have this to stop you, have that to stop you, have this, and this, whatever, you know what I'm talking about? And then, you know what I'm talking about? That's it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just making sure that we have that. That's the only thing, that's what I'm concerned about. Like, I don't want to know, you know what I'm talking about? But it's just like, and knowing like sort of changes the game set, because if everybody knows, then Russia knows or whatever, and that changes the dynamics, whatever. You know, it's the whole thing about like physics. You know, you look at a particle, you look at it, it moves or whatever, so you don't really know. I mean, but that's what I'm concerned about, is that we're relying, maybe stuff we're not should be relying on, whatever. And we just gotta have those people in place, you know, and be like, okay, this is how you handle it as a problem comes about, you know, so we, you know, you take care of it, you know. Who will win it in a war between U.S. and Russia? You know, it's like, why would there be a war between U.S. and Russia? I mean, it would just it would be Russia and China. You know, I mean, it's just like they know they're gonna lose. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Look, I don't really think in those dynamics or whatever. You know, they don't want war. They're not trying to. Um, they're trying to think that we don't want war or whatever, or we can't handle this in the parameters that's given to us, that is basically set up by international law, and that is a mistake, or whatever, you know. So, but the thing is, I mean, you know, this whole thing about misinformation. You try to get drawn into an argument that has little to no relevance, whatever, on the tangent, and have that play into it. And it just draws, you know, and you see, as you state, that I am scared, and so you want to evoke that feeling, like I should feel that, because you want me to feel scared. You want me to feel how you should, how I should feel. You know what I'm talking about? You want me to be as your political position of what you feel I should be. And I really, it's almost an insult to my intelligence when someone displays that, you know? I take it back, and I have to disregard a lot of it, what you're stating, you know, talking about. That's like saying, like, I feel something like this, and I want you to mirror that. And you know, talking about, by and large, we could play these psychological games, and you could try to get me to mirror what you want me to mirror, whatever, but I'm not going to do that. Like, I am not concerned about my country's ability. You know what I'm talking about? It's just like, I will do everything to increase our ability as my country. You know what I'm talking about? Because I love my country or whatever. And so, you know, talking about, it's just like, oh, the Falkland Islands. Oh, back in the day, yeah. Well, that was, you know, Argentina and Britain. I mean, what does that have relevance to everything? You know, I mean, these things. Look, I don't know, like how we've. I understand. I mean, I'm like you a little bit. It's just, but I feel you have a certain. You deal with certain people, and it works. And me, I just don't want to deal with it anymore. I don't care. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's just nonsense to me. You know, it's like, if I, you know, but what I do know, the more things get heated up, the more violence happens, the more you have to engage. You know, talking about with people and sit down and talk to people. And you got to be smart about it. Sometimes you know that this is going to happen no matter what. That's how we going to, deal with it. And it's sort of like dealing with people on the street. These people, by and large, in the city, in New York, whatever, it just, we were all young. We know how it is. How do you stop all that crime? You take that time and you make sure, okay, you're going to do sports more. Every time you go out that door, you cause trouble, and you don't know what's going to happen. You know what I'm talking about? And you can't blame this person, whatever. Be like, no, you got to put your time where it's most effective. You know what I'm talking about? And then have this where that energy could be released, whatever. No, you got to go to the gym. You know what I'm talking about? You got to work out. You got to have some kind of organized sports. You know what I'm talking about? And so every hour you're not on the street, you're decreasing violence. Now you do that times 10,000 people times 2 hours. That's 200,000 hours per day that violence is not on the street. So you got to think about macros like that. You know what I'm talking about? And have those people every hour that family make there's more connections with that person and be like spending quality time with the aunt, uncle, whatever. Be like, okay, I know my aunt, I know my cousin down the street, I know my friends, whatever, connected, whatever. So every hour they're connecting with them, they're not causing trouble. Now then, when they see them out on the street and whatever, be like, no, I just saw whoever with that. I don't really want to, say it just. I don't really want to cause trouble because I know I'm cool with them, and you decrease it a little bit because that's part of my family, that's my community, whatever. And you slowly decrease it on that macro level. But you can't just blame it on those people. Are they making a decision? Yes. Is it them? Yes. But you got to be, it's all about communication. You know what I'm talking about? And realizing that, Russians and Ukrainians, they're, if you treat people equally, whatever, you won't have this problem. You know what I'm talking about? What happens if Ukrainians said, no, I want to conquer Russia because you're our culture, not you are my culture? What happens if the tables were reversed or whatever? But right now, Russia's saying, you're my people. We're all one people, whatever. We're all one people. It's semantics, whatever. You know what I'm talking about? It's just all nonsense. Now, I don't know about the Mongols or whatever, you know what I'm talking about? It's just like, yeah, I know. Like, see, you rolling the dice, and I sort of see what you're saying. His dark skin has to be something Mongolian or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? It's from being Native American. This skin color is being Native from the United States of America, and everybody is just rolls the dice that it has to be something foreign. So all of who I am is internal to the United States, whatever. So I have a lot of pride, a lot of I love the rarity that my skin gets to be dark because of native blood within the United States of America. So there's the little things that I could discern how you're speaking. I know it's kind of random coming in here, but I don't want to be drawn into a side argument because that's the whole thing, to draw attention away, to just peel away a little bit of any kind of resources is to direct at the problem, and that's really disconcerting too. Napoleon tried to conquer Russia. Yeah, and that's exactly. So it's always, there was a scorched earth policy or whatever, and if Ukrainians have that resolved, as soon as things start rolling, could they hold every river and blow every bridge? I mean, but then they'll be hit from behind or whatever. So it's just very dynamic or whatever. And infrastructure, I don't know, man. I just, a lot of destruction, man. Germany in World War One actually did conquer Russia. They they pushed in so deep, changed the government, and that's what they're probably try to do to Ukrainian, or they're going to make it look like they did that. They're going to come in and take over key things and be like, we moved so quick, and they all just gave up, whatever, they're a bunch of pussies, whatever, and install a puppet government and shit. That's what they're saying is probably going to happen or whatever, but like I said, it all comes down to communication. It was like, and I just don't see Ukrainians going to fight. It's not Georgia. It's a bigger country. And I just, it's a lot of different dynamics here. So yeah, but see, that's what Putin wants to give out. That fear of like, okay, we got to appease, we got to, talking about just do enough, I'm talking about. So it looks like we're doing something to Ukrainian, and that's not going to happen because he's going to keep pushing, pushing, pushing. Because countries are going to expand or they're going to contract. Empire is going to expand or they're going to contract. It's going to do one or two things. So either we expand democracy or our democracy is going to contract. So we need to take territory away from Russia. We need to expand democracies. That's the only way to do it. And exactly how Putin knows. Putin knows because historically in the Russian culture, it's always expansionist. Whatever government they had, Russia has, it's always has been expansionist. Either it's been, a king, a czar, expansionist, the communist expansionist. Now it's expansion. It's always expansionist. And that's exactly what they're going to do now. And we have to acknowledge that. Because if we do this, it's going to keep trying to push whatever tools in toolbelt to keep going. And we have to push back. So not only do we have to give Ukraine the tools to resist, we have to give the tools to push back all and win, utterly. And now we're at the point where we got to tell Putin that he's going to lose. And he has to know he's going to lose. And if we don't convince him he's going to lose, he's going to invade. You know what I'm talking about? What is Ukraine's military technology? It's our technology. It's democracy's technology. Easy. And that's the whole thing, it's just like I just all I'm saying is that if we could get enough layered defense over the horizon anti-vehicle, they could just keep hitting them, stuff that can't be overrun. No one could stop them. But it's just gonna be quick, you're gonna have like if people are like, oh, it's gonna be minute by minute, I'm talking about that's how fast we gotta be, second by second round. Yeah. Maybe you're Russian. For you, yeah, your country's decided to go to war. Mine's not. You know what I'm talking about? We have better means to expand democracies or whatever, It's just like and the thing is, like, as soon as you choose war, you're forcing your will on somebody else. And then as soon as you do that, they're going to reject it. You know what I'm talking about? It's the last thing you want to do. You know what I'm talking about? What creates the environment of, of creativity is being free and open because you pursue your own dreams, whatever. And you get the best stuff from that on a macro level. So in the short term, like an empire ship will expand, but it will slowly contract or whatever. And so I'm not worried about it, So all the communism and Russia and they're all like this copy and paste and stealing all our technology, as fast as we could get it out, and they're expanding because it's like one mindset and this one person thinking they're all following that like a bunch of drones or whatever. So it looks more efficient, but it isn't. Yeah, we all want to. Yeah, but I mean, it's just human nature. We all want more power. We all want more wealth. But how you go get that? It's through competitive means in a structured, competitive way. That's capitalism, whatever. Where we have that chaos of saying I'm better than somebody. It's structured as best as possible. It's far from perfect, and it needs to grow, and be more empathetic or whatever. But to be better than our neighbor, we got to be like, okay, I got this, I did this, I could jump higher, I achieved that. I'm talking about structured. I'm talking about because we want more power, we want more wealth. That's fine, but we don't have to subjugate other people to do that. You build yourself up. Well, survival of the fittest, yeah, of course, yeah. But that's what capitalism tries to structure as much as possible. That innate ability in us to be like, I want more. And don't get me wrong, it's it takes more strength to be altruistic. We look at those people like, okay, well, they have to be nice because forced to be nice. But what about the people that learned everything and they can handle everything and are still giving back? and have the strength to give back. There's a lot of different emerging uh, countries, India, Africa, so Latin America, I feel hopefully, me being, um, a Latino. Yeah. I mean, it's just, they're all growing. Mexico's growing. I mean, the way I see it, I mean, from when I was young to now, and then what I historically thought about Mexico completely different. So, yeah, Brazil's strong, yeah, exactly. And they got presidency prize, with Texans, so it's weird because I'm too dark to be Mexican, you know, but it's just like I'm just this rarest person in America with all this native blood. So it's just like I'm an outlier of an outlier. It's like, and they've been in America so long, and Puerto Ricans, coming into Texas, it's just like I feel this niche. I'm talking about, growing up in Jersey. It's just like I feel very thankful for my heritage. But yeah. Anyway, but I feel that this kinship a lot of different South America, with South America. Yeah, but I mean, those countries don't need a military. I mean, it's like they're surrounded by two oceans. Like, what do they have to fight for? They should just unify and be like, oh, we're already democracy. Let's all get along together. Don't want shouldn't have none of that nonsense. That nonsense that's over there. It's bullshit. Just keep building your economies. Boom, 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 boom. If Latinos are already violent people to begin with, we don't need war. Trust me. The last thing we fucking shit. It's easy. It's easy to go down the easy path of violence. The hard thing is choose, to deal with people. I'm talking about that are violent. Saying be like, hey, let's do this. That's the hard part. Coming together and we're having everybody win. I'm talking about and thinking that deeply, having that mental capacity, doing that mental energy, doing that mental hard work. That's really what it is. Having people sit down and that elongated process and wanting to put that work in, be like, hey, okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. And I'd be like, well, this sort of helps you out. It sort of gives a perception of helping you out, perception helping you out, perception helping you out, perception you out. But everybody coming together and all parties involved get something, I'm talking about? And the more decision, not just one, and be like, okay, we all came together and made that good decision. So I don't know why everybody's, out there disagreeing and, fighting and whatever, shooting, but you got to constantly do it. Every minute, every second, I'm talking about nonstop or whatever, be like, all right, and adjust to it. And if we have more of those people, less violence there would be. Yeah, exactly. And when you have nobody say you have nobody to tell you no, you become that. I'm talking about over time. I was young. I was in that position. It's like, and I was lucky because people came to me and it's like because I was Native, and we live in a racist society. I'm lucky. Other people didn't have that opportunity. I'm talking about they aggressively came in, but like, hey, all right, I know people support you because you're Native American, and so and just sat down, and maybe look things differently, and I was like, and I was like, and I agree. I mean, it's just like because people sit down rationally with you, and that's what you need. People sitting down rationally in any best interest. I think we're all racist, but it's how good you constantly suppress that racism and deal with that person, and don't let that bubble out and be like, okay, well, I'm not racist, so I don't want to prove. Those are those other people, those other simple-minded people, and I'm not like that, so there's nothing wrong with me, I'm talking about no. But like, yeah, okay, I had that in me, but I know I need to make sure that doesn't affect my decision as much as possible, whatever. So I think that's what we do. So we always constantly adjusting to it because maybe we make a decision that doesn't seem racist, but it is. And someone brings up like, oh, okay, my fault. What I'm talking about? So, and that happened to me before, whatever. So I don't know some of the stuff that happens down in the South, but then, someone from the South be like, oh, no, that's, I was like, oh, okay, my fault. But, it happens. You got to adjust, Yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, people complacent, and yeah, it's over here in Hawaii a lot, you know, and it's just like kind of naive because it's in the middle of nowhere and not a lot of cultures out here besides Asia, but they say the exact opposite. So it's just sort of like you're in the Twilight Zone, a lot of these things, and it's like it's just it's crazy, man. It's just like look, you know, so as is me. So I just don't even try to associate with any of this nonsense, whatever. Just discard it. There's powerful people and the best mindset. That's what it is. You got these like basically mob bosses in charge of countries, Belarus and Putin in charge of a military. You know, I'm talking about just playing, whatever, a violent chess game, a bloody chess game. No, it's just like whatever. And this, oh yeah. I mean, I once thought we could be above religion, society, but whatever makes you a good person makes you a good person. If you need to believe in some kind of apparition in the sky to make you a good person, so be it. Um, I'm just saying, but don't get me started on religion. But people hide behind it. People hide behind a lot of things to have their own agenda known. I'm talking about is just like I say this, so I get that, and that's what it is. Well, Ukrainians are Russians, so I could do this. It's just they hide behind whatever convinces people. It's nonsense. It's what you want. Which you want more wealth. It's like that's what we use. We try to complicate shit. He wants more stuff. That's it. That's what it comes down to. Boom. And and then as a countries, and we just look at it as like it's so complicated, we can't possibly understand it. Bitcoin is down. I wish it was. It's time to see Bitcoin. They'll pump it up. Yeah, it is going down. It's like the war is the killing it. For like fuck this shit. No one likes conflict. You know what I mean? What makes everybody have a better standard of living is not war. I mean, it's just like this bullshit. It's gonna destroy. Oh my god, if I'm like, what the fuck are these people thinking over there? It's crazy. And how do you stop that? And be like, look, we're gonna kill your people when you come in, and we can do it effectively by multi-layered anti-vehicle over-the-horizon, capabilities. It's just like more fucked up shit. Yeah. Bitcoin is a currency in like a couple places. It's gonna grow. But new technology. It only makes sense that it would go into this into computer technology. We already have credit cards. It's just a natural evolution of it. Um, we already use computers. Electronical means and to have electronical currency is just the pathway we go. And even if it is not cryptocurrency, it is going to be some sort of digital currency. But it's probably going to be cryptocurrency. It's like obviously because it will emerge, it will evolve into the digital currency it needs to become. Toyota, I don't know about this. All you got to do, you get a Toyota Corolla, right? Right? And then you get a Lexus shell, right? You put a Lexus shell on top of that Toyota. Boom. Got a Lexus. I'm telling you, if you take a Lexus, you look under the hood, you see a Toyota engine. Same. You're paying for. It's a fucking fabric. It's just we live in this shit by this imagery, man. It's like, and it carries weight. And it's just nonsense, man. It's like, why can't we sit down and just throw that imagery away and be like, hey, You know, let's be cool. Let's talk about this. Let's make your life better, make my life better. And, you know, that's the hardest thing to do. Instead of taking. Yeah, because it's easier to produce the food with all these other like additives and whatever, you know. Organics a little bit more difficult, so your yield to be less. But organics is better because of your bio known within your stomach and it gives you the extra nutrients. And when you take in non-organic, get all those pesticides to kill your, um, you know, your intestinal bacteria that helps you out. But people know that and know that people want organic to be more healthier, but not enough people know that. So the larger consuming power is people not in the know of organic is better. So they produce more produce that is non-organic. It had some other kind of gene in it, right? I don't know. Yeah. You know, just yeah, I kept looking, and that's where I'm at now. I keep looking for better food, better healthy food, because I definitely need it to become better. But I'm gonna jump off here. I gotta do what I gotta do. I just really hope this thing works out. I threw my last bit of effort. That's the only way gonna stop him is knowing that he can be stopped unequivocally. All right, I'm out. Peace. You know what needs to be do given those open horizon capabilities. I'm out. We will stop the fucking asteroid. I'm telling you right now. All we got to do is shoot up an asteroid. I mean, asteroid killer. And so here is Elon Musk's asteroid killer capability. And then we shoot out this thing, right? And then we have this composite net. This displays out like a spiral, like a C net, you know. Use centrifugal force to spiral out and shit like that, and then it hits that fucking asteroid. And we just do it enough time. It would be nice if we could circumvent that asteroid, but we just got enough surface area that it holds it together while we just like push it the other way. You blast it, hook up some engines, keep running shit into it. We're not going to be hit by an asteroid. We got that. All we got to do is make sure it's held together by that netting or whatever. And don't worry about it. We're good. I'm telling you, we're good. I think we already crashed something into an asteroid. But short of that, this world is going to be unified. And all of us are going to have better lives, one way or the other. You know what I'm talking about? This is how we just don't need this fucking war. Yes, exactly. War is not killing people and treating people less than who you are is not how you get there. All right. That's what I want to leave it to. Leave it at that. Good communication as much as possible. You know what I'm talking about? That's all we got to do, man. For real. And not just act like we're doing it. Really sit down and be like, look, all right, how can we make both our lives better? Peace, man.